Hello everyone, welcome back. My goat willow forest is back in again for a bit of a pruning, a bit of a tidying up, starting to get some long branching on it again. And if we don't keep on top of it, you can see all the inner leaves start to die off and the outer leaves get stronger and bigger and bigger. They start getting quite big, so keep them small, the leaves small, keep it tight. You gotta keep pruning it. All the trees seem to be growing pretty good. Even these cuttings back here are growing quite well, strong enough. At the top, I will be pruning them right back down here somewhere, but I'll wait until they're well established first. Okay, so we'll get on with our pruning. We can put the wild boar out the way for now. I may as well start with this tree since it's the nearest to me. Put on my glasses for this job. Okay, so I'm just going to be pruning it back to a couple of sets of leaves and directional pruning. Take that branch off altogether. Try and get a bit more ramification on it. Any unhealthy leaves I'll just take out. Just work our way through it tree by tree. A lot of the trees aren't really the best of shape yet, but this one is kind of got a branch here growing across this one, so I'll take it right back to there. Reduce the height of this one in here, so this can make a bit of a dome on top. Okay, so the tree seems to be pruned up enough. Work on this main tree now next. You can see how long and big the leaves get if you let them grow. Let's see if I can bring the camera in a little bit closer. Extract that. You can see how big the leaves can get, and they'll keep getting bigger if you don't keep it pruned back. And then you get a lot of dye back then on the leaves and back inside here. So you want to try and keep them pruned if you can. They like a lot of water too. If anybody hasn't seen these trees before, it started with this. These trees kind of grow a bit like weeds around here, but they grow very tall and straight and kind of thin. And I found this one, the main one here. It was about maybe 10 foot tall, something like that, and growing out the top of a wheelie bin at work, where the bin was just recycling in it, cardboard and stuff, but the lid had blown open and it was in behind one of the sheds, and it sat there for a couple of years and filled with water, and this guy had found its way in there and started growing on top of the cardboard box basically that was flattened on the top inside the bin, so it was full of water. It was getting a lot of water, and because it was on top of the flat box, it kind of grew a nice radial root base. So I just brought it home, chopped it back down, so there was no branches or anything on it. It was just a stump, like a stick in a pot, and I've been growing it since. I'm working on the branch structure of it. The main chop is in here, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of on the side now. It was on the top, but it's slowly but surely worked its way to the side or the front, which isn't ideal being at the front, but it's kind of hidden most of the year anyway, so I'm just gonna roughly go through each tree to put them back so it's not in my way, work my way around. And each time you prune it, you get more and more branching. I'm going to take, I don't want that at all. I might leave it to fill out in here, I don't want a gap in there. They tend to grow across into each other and everything as well, so that's one of the reasons as well why you want to keep them pruned back. They start entwining with each other, and then one tree will be shading out the others. Does tend to drop leaves a bit in the summer. I think if it dries out at all, then it starts to just drop some of its weaker leaves. But I'll try and keep it watered as much as I can, and I'll give it a bit of a feeding now when I'm finished today. Okay, I think that is the main tree done. We'll work on these guys. Again, just look at this branch coming back in. Take that off there. It's got kind of a double apex, this one. It's got one here and one here. It's kind of an ugly tree, but you find a lot of ugly trees in forests because they're fighting for light and stuff. So if you do have ugly trees, forest is the place to put them, because you can see now this tree probably not getting as much light, maybe it's dropping a lot of leaves inside. These guys, I'll just give a rough pruning back like that. These will be chopped right back when they once I know they're well and truly established. But I'll leave them long for now because at the back, so they can get a bit of sun. If I chop them back now, they'll be hidden and they probably won't be strong enough to survive. We're branching here, which is coming off the main tree. So we need to back in. Okay, so you can see that side now is starting to get a bit cleaner looking. Just trying to get into this one back here. See which branches are which. Again, this is just a cutting that's growing in there. It'll need a proper restyling, but best time to do the proper restyling is when there's no leaves on them. So for now, while they're in leaf, I just want them to keep growing, getting the energy they can from what leaves they have. Again, this one will just chop right back, and this little guy back here will just reduce the couple of shoots that are taken off on it. And this tall tree. You can see the difference in this tree. There's not a lot of long shoots or big leaves, and I'm presuming that's because it's up on the mound, which means it's getting less water. The lower down the trees are, the more water they're getting. So that's probably why this one has such smaller leaves and less growth. That's what I'm thinking anyway. This branch here, I think you can take that one out altogether. Maybe we can reduce that one back as well. Okay, so I think that's it for the trees. As I can see, they're pruned up. Now we'll give the landscape a bit of a cleaning with all the leaves now on it. I'll just raise up the camera a bit. Yeah, so we got all these leaves now and stuff that I've collected on it. You can see how well the moss is growing. It's covering this rock nicely now. It's starting to look really natural looking. I like growing native trees like this, trees that you can find around the place, because you can always add to it easily, or if any of them die or anything, simple to go and replace them. I have a bunch of cuttings that I got of these, which are in a pot that are just grown away, so if I ever do want to replace any, I can, or add any, I can just go into that. Or if push really comes to shove, I could just go out for a walk, and like I said, you find these all over the place, so it shouldn't be too hard to find some. I may even one day, because they do grow so good and they work out quite well, keep my eyes open and maybe get a bigger one work on a big one, do a big one of these trees just on its own. Put a bit of moss off there. There's a bit of the bits of white you can see, like sand. It's actually a bit of fertiliser that I just sprinkled over some of my trees. So that's what that is. It'll eventually wash in. Okay, so I just wanted to get rid of the bulk of the leaves. Now, seed them. We can maybe prune back a little bit. Just take off the tops of the bigger ones. I do have that flowering thyme stuff. It's like a miniature thyme and it flowers with little pink flowers. I might put some of that in this one day. It's in my planting of my stone wall. It's grown really well, and it just adds a bit of colour to the planting. It also needs pruning back, so I might give that a pruning in my next video, or one of my next videos. I'll just prune this back so it's not hanging off the pot. Tiny bit of liverwort there, we'll get rid of that before it starts taking over. Okay, everything looks alright. The moss at the back here, we could give it a little bit of a trimming before it just starts to get a bit too long. I'll keep the moss as tight as I can in this. Okay, so I think all that's left now is to just clean up my paths a bit. It's starting to get a bit overgrown with moss and stuff, and put a bit of sand into it. Sand. Spinning this one. And my little scoop. It's gone missing as well. That's here. Into background there. Okay, just get a bit of water now, we'll water that in. Okay, so we'll just give that a bit of a watering. Just get this end to settle. Why is that shooting up in the air? There's a hole or something in the side of it. Okay, that'll do. Don't want to soak the whole place in here. Okay, so we can put our little bar back up there. Keep an eye out. Okay, so we'll call this one done. Slow that down a bit. We'll call it done like that. We'll just keep on top of pruning it. If you don't, you end up getting big long leaves and big long stalks on it, stems, and it ends up then that your inner leaves start to die off, so you gotta kind of keep on top of the pruning on it, but that's what we'll do, if that's what we have to do. Okay, so we'll put that one back on the bench and we'll call it done, and we'll maybe have a look at another one later on today if I get time. Yeah, so as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.